everyone, it's Parker. It's looking like an excellent day. The car is running really well. Got beautiful scenery. Going to Elko, Nevada, which is, even if we went straight, 4 hours and 10 minutes away. So it's going to be a long day. We've only got 11 pages of directions though, instead of the usual like 23. And not a lot of stop signs. The stop signs are really what kill you.
Hey, it's Parker's dad for a change. I was getting tired of hearing his voice talking all the time. So we're on what's called the Lincoln Highway, which is also referred to as the world's loneliest highway. So I'm going to give you a little bit of view of why it's called the world's loneliest highway by turning the camera around. Hopefully I'm qualified to do this. So take a peek. Do I need to flip the screen down?
No. Just hold it like that and point it like you think it is.
So, not a car in sight. A bunch of sand dunes out there. And, just nothing. A whole lot of nothing for miles and miles.
Well, after driving 50 miles an hour for who knows how long, we're finally in another transit zone. Today's been pretty good. I think I've been dead on the mark speed-wise. So if anything is off a couple seconds or so, it's most likely speedo calibration. So once we get our time at the end of the day, we're gonna check that. If we're consistently 5 seconds late or something like that, we'll adjust the speedo so we can get it a little bit better. But fingers crossed, haven't ran into traffic or any problems. The car is overheating a little bit going up hills, and we're at high altitude. But we turned the heater on even though it's hot as crap out here, and that ended up cooling down the engine a little bit. Well, didn't get to vlog much yesterday because it was a crazy day. I drove the entire day. It was about 9 hours of driving, and we actually did extremely well. So it was our best day so far. Our total seconds off in 9 hours of driving was 13. I had a 0-second leg, which means we hit the target dead on, and we even got stickers for it. It's called an ace. I had a 2-second leg, a 1-second leg, maybe another 1, and then a 7-second leg. And the 7-second leg was, we were off by 7 seconds in 1 hour and 50 minutes. So honestly, I'm really proud that I was able to do that. Pretty awesome. And the cool thing is that put us, we are now in 2nd place out of 27 rookies. The rookies are in their own class, then the people who have won in the past are in their own class, and then everyone else is intermingled and stuff like that. There's 120 cars total, something like that. We're at the starting line for the day. We've got about a 35-minute leg, and then we get to go to the Bonneville Salt Flats. Unfortunately, because the car likely has a blown head gasket, we're not going to be doing any top speed runs. Check out, someone's going. But it'll be cool to at least see it, and then we're going all the way to Evanston, Wyoming via Utah. Now, one thing that's interesting on a leg like this, where the start of the race is at 50 miles an hour, is do you start at the starting line at 0 and factor in the acceleration loss going to 50, or do you do a flying start? But the problem with the flying start is figuring out how far behind you have to start in order to cross the line at the right amount of time. So we're gonna do from the sign, 0 to 50, and then factor in the loss. Beautiful landscape out here. My dad's driving now because we've got a 4.5 hour commute before the next leg, and we're coming up on the Salt Flats. Check this out. That is pretty cool. And I don't know if it shows on the camera. Oh, it looks like we've gotten a little too low, but there's some very long straightaways out there where you can tell they've done some top speed runs. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing any crazy speeding because of the condition of the car, but it'll be nice to go out there for a little bit and at least see it for the first time. There's the sign right here, Bonneville Salt Flats. Check that out. Look at this place. Holy crap. Right ahead of us is the official Bonneville Salt Flats International International Speedway sign. We're gonna take a photo in front of it. But look what's happened. This place is so flat that the entire thing has flooded. Well, not the entire thing, but the main portion is flooded with water. So it's just a small lake out there. But there is, well, yeah, a big ass lake. And but back there is some salt that isn't wet. So out on the Bonneville Salt Flats, the Mustang isn't idling very well. It really wants to die out at this high altitude, and potentially the head gasket leak. We're not going to take it on the salt because, one, if it dies out there on the salt, that'd not be good, and we don't really want to get the car all salty, and we don't have all that much time to get to the next leg. That's a quick update. I mean, I've never been here before. This is awesome, and what I would do to be in a twin turbo Aventador or Gallardo going 230 miles an hour down the salt flats. Fingers crossed that she makes it. We're at the final leg of the day. Just had a transit zone. We're going in about 10 minutes from now. So far so good. Fingers crossed we end the day with no problems. This one's pretty short, but anything can happen, especially random traffic. Got Team Japan ahead of us. Some guys from Japan came out in a team of maybe 5 or 6 cars. Pretty awesome. I can't imagine going to all the way to Japan to do a rally, but they're doing it. Started up. It's been having trouble idling, but hopefully it's smooth sailing to the finish line. Just arrived in Evanston at the finish line. Got our score for the day. Really proud of it. Did really well. So 1 second on the first leg, 8 seconds, 4, 1, and then an ace on the last one. So we've gotten 2 aces so far. 0 second leg. Honestly, the car's running like crap, so we're hoping that it makes it the whole way. It can't idle. Pretty sure it's got an exhaust leak and a blown head gasket, so hoping we can make it to the next destination, start going downhill, find a shop, and fix the head gasket ourselves. Got all of the cars lined up, about ready to leave after dinner. Look at how many aces this car has. Unbelievable. Just actually got the parts, so head gasket kit and some oil, so hopefully we don't need it. It's the morning of day 5. Last night we met some really friendly people that actually tried to help out with the car. Turns out there were some bolts loose where oil could potentially be leaking out. Not fully convinced that that was all of the issues because it's still idling pretty rough. We also met 2 guys who had an identical 2012 Boss 302 Laguna Seca to Eddie. Same color and everything, has the illegal front splitter. Really cool guys. They've only got 2,500 miles on the car, so it's really clean, and their 5th gear still works. About to head to the starting line. Gonna figure out how we're doing overall. I'm thinking probably pretty good. Fingers crossed. Well, out in the middle of nowhere, you see a whole bunch of different types of things. Check this out. We're up at about 8,000 feet in a peak in Wyoming, probably about 100 miles to our destination. The car hates climbing. It's sputtering repeatedly, but on a downhill at higher RPMs, it's running smoothly. It's not leaking oil or coolant as far as we know anymore. Hopefully we can make it to where it starts going downhill. Look how beautiful that is, holy crap. Just stopping for gas after our final leg. Some absolutely incredible roads. This mountain climb went up for probably about an hour and down for an hour, and man, do I wish that we could film reviews there. The car's running a little bit better. The elevation is a little lower. Putting some gas in, then we got an hour and a half, and then we get to see how our score was. I'll be honest, I was a little shakier today. I'm thinking in the realm of 15 to 25 seconds, not 13 like the last 2. We'll find out. The Great Race trailer, the official one with all the logos on it, that was supposed to tow vehicles, and it's currently being towed by a huge tow truck. So that is ironic. Vehicles are dropping like flies, even the support crew. Coming up to the finish line in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Our favorite guy who always likes to talk about Camaros is about to announce the car, and I guarantee he goes, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is a real Shelby GT350. Watch this shit.
Except it's a 65. Number 88. You guys having fun yet?
We are.
I guess you are. Listen to this car. I'll just give them a little sample. That was the little sample.
It was a hell of a crowd welcoming us. Wasn't the best day we've had so far, but racked up another ace. For the day, we got 22.43 seconds. Got a 3, a 5, a 10, a 5, and a 0. So we'll see what that puts us at tomorrow morning when we find out the scores. There's a big crowd out here. Largest welcome yet. Pretty awesome. My dad's also filming something. I don't know why. Got another ace today. Pretty stoked about that. Might take off the bra tomorrow to give it a little more airflow. It seems like it's running a little rich.